Hello, second graders. Today we will learn about how does matter and energy flow in the Amazon rainforest. So we have these two pictures. I want you to look at them and think in your head, what are some of the organisms that we see and what are the parts of the environment? So we see that organisms are the living things that could be either animals, plants, like the tree, grass, insects, bacteria. We see a lion, zebra, a deer, and algae. So for the environment, which is the atmosphere that these plants and animals live in, like the surroundings, it could be either water, the soil, the chemicals that are in the soil, and the sun. So it all begins with the sun. It is the ultimate primary source of energy for life. Photosynthesis is the process where the sun energy is converted into a chemical energy, which is glucose and sugar. And so plants use the sun to manufacture the food. So organisms in the Amazon rainforest gather food in three ways in their ecosystem. They start off by producers and then consumers and as decomposers. So producers are organisms that make their own food. They need the sun, they need the sunlight to make food, and sun is the main source of energy. As we can see on the right, um, plants, algae, and bacteria are some examples of the producers. Consumers eat other organisms to obtain energy and nutrients. And so all animals are consumers. They obtain their energy by eating other organisms. And so mice and birds are some of examples of the consumers. Some examples of first level consumers is the blue morpho butterfly. The second level consumer is the toucan bird and the eyed red tree frog. And on the third level consumer is the jaguar. So now into decomposers. As we can see, worm, mushroom, insects, and bacteria are some examples of it. Decomposers are organisms that break down waste and turn them into nutrients. They recycle nutrients from other organisms back into the environment. They complete the cycle of matter in the ecosystem. So, food chain is a series of organisms that eat one another so that the energy and nutrients flow from one to the next. The picture on the right shows how the energy and nutrients flow from one to the next. So we have the plant, which is the producer, and then we have the grass hopper, which is a primary consumer, and then the frog, which is a secondary consumer, and then we have the snake, which is a tertiary consumer, and finally the owl, which is a quaternary consumer. So food chains have different levels. The first level is the primary consumer, then comes the first level consumer, then the second level consumer, and then the third level consumer. The primary producers has the most energy and being 100%, and then transferring at 10%. The second level consumer has less energy, transfers 1% of energy to the next level on the food chain. Finally, the third level consumer takes the energy from the second level consumer, and now it has 0.1% of energy, not giving any other energy the other animals to transfer since it's at the top of the food chain. So in this picture on the right, we see the oak tree leaves being as producers, and then the caterpillar being primary consumer, and then the tree creeper a secondary consumer, and then a hawk being a third level consumer. So matter in farms, looking at this picture, how these crops and plants grow? Well, these crops grow by getting matter from the soil, which is nitrogen and water, and from the air, which is carbon dioxide. They are taking nutrients they require, and so this matter will combine to make life or living matter. Thanks for watching.